Salutations, Queen of Shade here. Now you listen and you listen well. I want to tell you a story. And it goes a little something like this. Once upon a time, when I was a younger queen, not queen yet, but royal princess, making my way toward the throne, I had to make a decision. You see, all of my adult life, from about 19 till now 42, I have known that I was meant to be influential. We'll say it like that. And I didn't always expect everything that was happening to me to prove that I would be worthy of being influential. I also didn't realize what the vehicle would be. And I remember when I had to put my passion for music and fashion and film and acting aside. I thought I was going to die because I had lived in pursuit of my passion and purpose for so many years unsuccessfully that I thought that if I had to take my eye off of it for but one moment, I'd lose it. And it was that moment when the divine spoke to me. He said, Bjorn Dufault, do you trust me? And I said, I don't know if I can. And he said, well, you're going to have to. And he said, I need you to give me your dreams. I said, what? He said, I need you, God is not above repeating himself, to give me your dreams. Place them in my hand. And I was so nervous about doing that because I had been responsible for making my own way toward my dream myself. And I realized that when the divine said, put it in my hand, he needed me to focus on other things. And I was scared that if I focused on other things, I would forget about my dream and never achieve it. So I said to him, God, this is what I want more than anything in the entire world, more than the breath that I breathe. And he said, I know, which is why you need to put it in my hand so that I can keep it safe. Because you have to grow up. You have to become the man / woman / deity that you need to become, which is going to require you to take your focus away from your dream and put it more on practical things like learning how to pay bills, learning how to balance a checkbook, going to therapy, getting a hold and a handle on my bipolar disorder, my PTSD, and my acute anxiety disorder. He said there are things that you are going to need to focus on, but if you keep holding on to your dream, you're not going to do the practical things that you need to do to ensure that when your dream comes a-knocking, you can answer the door. And I had to make a very difficult decision. I said, God, all right. I do need to grow up. And I do need to take back my life. I need to take control of my life. And I need to become a man. So I said, God, I'm going to do all these things you asked me to do. I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to work this stuff out. I'm going to do all that you asked me to do. Learn how to balance a checkbook. Learn how to run a business. Read and research and bone up on the information. I'm going to do that. But you promise me, God. Promise me that you'll give me back my dream when it's time. He said, I promise. Many years went by. Many. And I worked angrily because I was angry. I was like, this is some bullshit. He said, no, this is the shit you need to do. But I did it all. And right at the moment that I felt like I was going to miscarry my dream, that it was dying inside of me, he handed it back to me. After 20 years of therapy, after learning all of the things I needed to learn, after learning how to launch and fully operate my own independent business as an entrepreneur, then God said, all right, now you've done all the things that you needed to learn to do. Now you can have your goal, your dream, and your aspiration back. And thus, you watching me today now have the Queen of Shade. I am 42 years old. I turned 42 this past September 29th. I was born 1982. I never could have imagined that I'd be standing where I am, possessing all that I have. Because you see, during those 20 years, he grew me up. I learned how to be accountable. I learned how to be responsible. I learned how to fix my own mistakes, clean up my own messes, wipe my own nose and ass, and put my big boy, big girl pants, not panties, pants on. Because you have to pay the cost to be the boss. And I watch so many young people run at their dreams. But you didn't have any home training, baby. You didn't have a mother or a father. Neither did I. So there were many lessons that you missed. And now as an adult, you still need those lessons. So you have to put your dreams on hold, and you have to learn all the things you did not learn when you were growing up. It's the only way to sustain your dream. I did it, and God gave it back to me. If you put your dream in his hands and forget about it, and focus on your life and learning, I promise you, he'll give it back when it's time. Don't worry, I'm a professional.